Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am here to present to you my topic. My topic is all about electric shock and fainting. First, let's talk about dealing with electric shock. Electricity causes burns with the flow of electric voltage through the skin, but electric shock can cause more than burns. It can cause tissue damage, and extremely high voltage may even stop heartbeat. Because electric shock can lead to a range of injuries like muscle and nerve damage, respiratory distress, cardiac arrest, and in severe cases, it may even cause death. Electric shock may cause organ injuries and neurological complications depending on factors like the duration and intensity of the shock. So, here are the steps in handling emergencies involving electric shock. A. Don't waste time to switch off or remove plugs. Immediately switch off the master fuse to turn off all the power. These are things you can do to help without injuring yourself. So, if you're already in this situation, the best way is to switch off the master fuse. It's a quick and effective way to cut off all the power in your home or on a specific area. Don't be shocked or una makatinga pa ka daw yang matulala something kay most of us gani pag masanda na sitwasyon agma taranta di da masayad ang himuon amo. If ever na sanda ka na situation, you should go and turn off the master fuse to prevent further electrical and minimizing the risk of injuries. So B. Stand on a thick pile of newspapers or rubber mat if the ground is wet. Witness make you a conductor of electricity regardless of what you are standing on. Because when the ground is wet, it increases the conductivity, meaning it becomes a better conductor of electricity. So by standing on a non-conductive surface like rubber or a dry newspaper na baga, you can create a barrier that reduces the likelihood of electrical current passing through the body. Like rubber and dry materials, amo yan sila yung mga poor conductors. So, C. Try to push the injured of the live wire by using a broom, mop, or pole, or, no, your hand must be dry. Wood is a poor conductor of electricity, and using these insulating tools helps you create a barrier between the rescuer and the live wire. Tapos, dry hands further reduce the risk of electric shock to prevent the person that helping to get electric electric shock too. So, by carefully pushing the injured individual away from the live wire using non-conductive materials, it minimizes the chance of rescuer becoming part of the electrical circuit and enhances the overall safety of the rescuer. So, second, threatening for electric shock before the help arrive. Because shock is more of a risk and because shock of more of a risk with electricity more than other types of burns, check the injured person's ABC. ABC stands for airways, breathing, and circulation. And take the appropriate measures if person is not breathing. Immediately begin mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. These quick interventions help prevent oxygen deprivation, crucial for avoiding complications like brain damage. Kaya if ever na maglisod din ang paghihinawa, we should do the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation dayon to prevent oxygen deprivation or laong panato di da makinhawa day oxygen na yakasod sang kanaan body. B. Apply small amount of antibacterial or burn ointment on the burned skin. Because applying antibacterial and a burn ointment on burned skin helps prevent injuries, and it can heal quickly and alleviate pain and reduce scarring. So, if ever na aon kan mo oil ointment or antibacterial sang kan mo first aid kit, we should use that. Pero before hugasan na pa nato yang burn skin bago nato apply yang antibacterial or burn ointment. Kay if ever na basa yang or malipa tapos diretso nato butang, it's not effective it's not effective. Okay. Basta it's not effective. So here are the important steps before applying the burn ointment. So first is assess severity. Determine burn severity. before kita mag-apply, we should know how big or how damaged the burn cause para masad kita the pila ka amount niya kanato i-apply. Second is cool it. Run cold water over the burn. This helps the burn or this helps the skin reduce the burn or stop the burn. Kay sometimes man good if kurintihan na kita yung skin damage magkabagas kay manang as we kung makita gani nato yung laga if ever mag-start dayan di ba magkadako. So if adto day sabihan same lang gyapon yan magkakuan yung injuries nan not as big as the fire can cause pero mo bagas pa gid yan di how bagas sila di man magkatas-tas pa. So by run cold water over the burn it can stop the dayon can maintain the current look or the current situation para dili damo kan payang damage. Third is clean gently. Use mild soap and water. So bago nato mag-apply, make sure na limpyo yan. Clean it with mild soap and water para if ever ang mga dust or bacteria na nakakuan, malimpyuhan yan. Fourth is gently dry the area. Before kita mag-apply, make sure na ipatahay na pa nato para effective yang pagbutang nato ng burn ointment. 5 is apply burn ointment. Use burn ointment as directed. If humanda ka pag patahay, we should proceed to number 5 the dayon. Apply the ointment in the burn skin. 6. Cover if needed. Protect with sterile dressing. So, if malala pa saan, if needed gayod, kay nang bagas yung kuan gayod, we should cover it with sterile dressing para lang kuan kita, sure kita na safe. 7 is pain relief. Consider pain relievers. If ever masakitay or the victims feels pain na dili na ma-contain, you should use pain relievers the dayon. Consider using pain relievers to reduce the pain. 8 is watch for infection. Monitor for signs. If gamay man lang yan, una pa kagamay, we should make sure na wala yan ma-infection. So, we should monitor it at least 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Tanaw-tanaw na to, balik-balikon para lang sure kita. Then, do this at least 30 minutes na pag or few hours bago na to stop na yan pag check para lang ma-make sure na okay yan. 9 is seek for medical help if severe burns. If ever na dili nato kaya matabang ma-contain or dili nato kaya na masolusyon na nato lang kay masyadong bagas or masyadong malala yang sunog, we should contact expertise na dayon. Dili da kita show pa ng ganato katigamon. C. Keep the injured person on his or her back with his or her feet and leg elevated. This helps improve the blood circulation and reduce the swelling and helps prevent shock. Because if ever napasagdaan lang nato yung injured person na saan, dili nato i-elevate niya kanan leg o feet, it can cause more damage. Like, yung kanaan blood mo sa kasang utok amo yung if ever na kuan asad di kinahanglan situation, we should act quickly and elevate his leg or feet. It can reduce swelling too. So amo dayon. D. If the injured person is unconscious, gently turn him or her to that side, supporting the head with a pillow. This will aid breathing and keep shock damage from increasing. Because this helps him or her breathing and prevents worsening by shock by maintaining an open airway. So A. Gently cover the injured person with a blanket. This helps maintain the body heat. So, and it can give comfort to the injured person. If ever ang kanato blanket, ikavera nato yung injured person para ma-maintain yung kanang body heat, dili sila man lamig para sa comfortable sila. So, second is fainting na ita. Fainting during the Victorian times was considered feminine and a sign of aristocratic good breeding. Today, fainting is a sign that something is wrong inside the body. It can help a sign of hurt to danger to the heart or brain, a panic attack, hyperventilation, malnutrition, or even pregnancy or menopause. Because in Victorian times, fainting was often preserved as a sign perceived as a sign of feminine delicacy. Kay in Victorian times man good, men are supposed to be strong and na, dili magpakita ng weakness. So, if ever na faint ka, if tapos ya kwan kita ka na usog ka tapos ya faint ka, para kanilan tanaw nila saan feminine. So, however, contemporary understanding recognize that fainting is a complex physiological response and a signal various underlying issues. Because today, fainting is considered a potential indicator of health concerns, including like problems with heart or brain. It can also be linked of panic attacks, hyperventilation, nutritional deficiencies, and hormonal changes such as pregnancy or menopause. So here are the warning signs of to faint. A. Sudden paleness of the face, mamutla ng mukha. B. Cold and clammy skin, panlalamig ng balat, dizziness or nausea, yung pagkalipong, numbness or tingling in the feet and toes, yung makafeel ka ng tusok-tusok saan mo tudlo. Sige. Sudden rapid of weak pulse, panghihina ng pulso, feeling of panic, yung feeling mo gapanic na ka, and blurred vision rather. So, second is treatment. So here are the step-by-step guide for maintaining medical safety with the person fainted. First is lie the person down on the floor on his back. This position promotes blood circulation, as I said earlier, and minimize the risk of injuries by preventing falls. Para if ever man paingkudo mo lang yan, tapos faint na ganyan, tapos paingkudo mo lang, ang chance na mahugyan kay he don't have any control of his muscle. So, if it's better na pakuwangon mo yan para prevent more injuries if ever paingkudo mo lang. So, B. Practice your ABC of first aid. Make sure the airways are clear, the person is breathing, and the blood circulating. The blood is circulating. Because if ever na adida kita na situation, we should know the ABC of first aid. So make sure the airway are clear. If ever the place is too crowded, hatagan nato ng space. I-ask nato sila na hatagan ng space para makaginhawa na matarong yang kuyapan or faint. Tapos i-make sure na gaginhawayaan panalingan nato, i-feel nato yung kanaan ilong kung gaginhawa ba, and the blood is circulating, yung blood naan pagyapon tuyok yung saan basta you know the process saan, or if listen for heartbeats para make sure ka naga-circulate ang blood. So C. Loosen clothing if necessary to make sure the victims is comfortable and able to breathe. Because sometimes, victims wears tight clothes like skinny jeans or something na tight clothes. If ever na magsuot sila saan, we should make sure na paluagan nato. If take off the clothes na lang, pulihan nato ng luag or ever tabunan da lang para lang comfortable sila and makaginhawa ng matarong. D. Open windows inside the building to allow air to circulate. So if you're inside the building, tapos wa pa yung rescue, open the windows para lang makaginhawayan ng matarong. Because if i-close nato yung windows, yung pag-circulate ng air or dili proper, mas makulong yung carbon, so magliso din yung paghinawa sa mot yung faint or yung unconscious person. So E. Turn head to the side and wipe out with a piece of cloth if victims vomits or if gasuka. This maintains the airway para makinhawa. And para isab, dili ma-choke ng vomit yang victim. So if ang kan mo clothes or unsa man handkerchief, trapuhan nato ang kanang baba para lang dili siya magkames ang paan. Okay. F. Keep chin up to prevent the victim's tongue from obstructing the throat. During fainting, loss of muscle tone can lead to tongue falling backwards and potentially blocking the airway. So if ever masaan man galing, yang kanaan dila, ma-losing control, makasudngad to, matabunan yang airway. So di yan ginhawa. So by lifting the chin forward helps the airway open, ensuring the unobstructed breathing and reducing the risk of suffocation. So G. Wipe the victim's face with a damp cool piece of clothes. Because this action help cool the person down, particularly if the fainting or unconsciousness was due to heat or fever or any other factors na mapasok. So, it's better way to tarpuhan mo gaya ng cool na piece of clothes. Because coolness can also have a soothing effect that providing comfort and potentially helping the persons regain consciousness and more comfortably. So H. If the victims remain unconscious or unconscious but groggy, disoriented, and nauseated, it is the best way to call for help. So if you already do everything na kaya mo or you know how to do, if ever na unconscious pa yan or under consciousness agaw pero medyo lipong-lipong pa, yung pinanawan, groggy pa, we should call for expert like 911, basta emergency help, mga expertise. So 3. The list you need to know. Fainting in and of itself is not usually an emergency condition, but it is a signal of an underlying problems and it can create its own set of problems. As I said earlier, fainting is not usually a problem or emergency condition. Kaya sometimes it's a sign of bigger problems, underlying problems, because it might be a sign of heart or brain conditions or heart or brain, what do you call it, basta heart or brain, basta sakit. So B. Be aware of fainting signs, clammy skin, dizziness, a pale face, and nausea. So as I said earlier, kuan pa, be aware gayud if ever na pagkita mo sa person na yang luspadayaan, yung lipong, paleness, nausea. So it might be a sign na kuya pa niyan, ma-faint yan, ma-unconscious. C. Follow the 5-minute rule. If a person remains unconscious for more than 5 minutes, get help. Yan. If ever na wala pa yung makamata within 5 minutes, we should call help na dayon. Do not use smelling salts to revive someone. Because smelling salts has a strong scent. It can overstimulation, it can potentially harm or much underlying issues and can pose safety concerns, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing the proper medical assessment and care. So next is place E. Place the fainted person in a prone position, loosen his or her clothes, and open nearby windows. As I said, gaya na. And lastly, make sure the person's airway are clear, breathing is regular, and circulation is normal. Thank you.